Los Angeles has the second largest media market in the nation, so the Los Angeles Chargers get a lot of hype. So any ranking, individual or team, is going to be slanted toward them. The Los Angeles Rams earned all the hype they're getting by winning the Super Bowl. But the Chargers didn't even make the playoffs last year, yet they're projected to be an elite team because of two new players. One of them is edge rusher Khalil Mack, whom along with Joey Bosa has been named as the NFL's best edge rusher duo. But I beg to differ. Maxx Crosby and Chandler Jones of the Las Vegas Raiders are really the best edge rusher duo in the NFL. If you go back to the numbers from last year, the duo combined for number 1 in total pressures with 148, number 3 in sacks with 18.5, number 2 in tackles for a loss with 25, and number 2 in run stops with 48. So while the media is talking about what Mack and Bosa are going to do together, they need to be talking about what Crosby and Jones are going to do together. For starters, they're a better bet to actually be on the field together more often. We start with Jones in the run game, where he's very underrated. He's tied for number 17 in the NFL for tackles for loss with 13. And he's number 14 in the NFL in run stops with 20. Those long arms help him get rid of blockers quickly so he can make the play. He has 35.5-inch long arms, so even tackles are going to have a hard time with that. And of course, if you run away from him, he's going to chase it down from behind. You're not going to get away from him. And as a pass rusher, come on, man. He has more sacks than anyone since he came into the league in 2012 with 107.5. That's more than Von Miller with 104 and J.J. Watt with 102. And oh, by the way, he had 10.5 sacks in 2021. And he does it with good hands because of his length and good bend for a guy 6'5". This is some easy work right here. And when he gets there, it's not enough to just get the sack. He has to make the ball come out. This here is an opportunity to get the ball back that his teammates slept on. But they didn't sleep on this one here. This one's going to be a turnover. Here he comes on the stunt. Oh yeah, and he's got himself a spin move. On this one, his first move and his counter move don't work. He just stays with it. That's called relentlessness. Remind you of someone? Jones has sacked Russell Wilson more than any other player has. So when Wilson came to the AFC West, the Raiders had to make sure his biggest nightmare followed him there. And in the process, the Raider defense gets a chance to create more turnovers. It also gives them one half of the best edge rusher duo in the NFL. Now we move on to the second half, Maxx Crosby, who's also underrated against the run. Crosby is tied for 12th in the NFL in tackles for a loss with 13. And he's 5th in the NFL in run stops with 28. Like Jones, Crosby also uses his arm length to keep blockers off of him. Look at the arm extension on this one. And of course, it's all effort after that. Oh, and you know what happens when you go the other way, right? He just runs it down from behind. Oh yeah, and when it comes to getting after the quarterback, he does that. He had 8 sacks and the league-leading 101 pressures last year. Oh, and when Crosby gets pressures, he gets real pressures, the kind that affect the throw. And he does it with all kinds of bend. Watch this bend on an inside stunt. He has great speed too, which gets him there on stunts. Once the opposing guard doesn't pick up this stunt, the quarterback is dead in the water because of Crosby's closing speed. Here goes that closing speed again on the stunt. The quarterback has no chance. With the speed Crosby has, quarterbacks are not going to run away from him. This is all motor and closing speed here. Again, he doesn't just do pressures where he's running up while the quarterback is throwing the ball. He affects throws and forces incompletions and interceptions. And while you already know about the length, speed, bend, and motor, what about the power? Like this here. That's the sack, by the way. Remember when Garrett Bowles told Russell Wilson, "You ain't gonna get hit around here"? Well, not if him blocking Crosby has anything to do with it. Oh, and let's go back to Crosby's speed right quick. This is Lamar Jackson right here. Jones makes splash plays in the run game, and he's a hitter. But blasting on opposing quarterbacks is what he does best. So opposing quarterbacks, especially Wilson, need to watch out. They have to watch out for the other side too, because Maxx Crosby's coming. Because along with Jones, he's bringing his reign of terror to opposing quarterbacks. And it doesn't stop there, because he makes more than his fair share of splash plays in the run game too. And that right there makes the best edge rusher duo in the NFL. Thank you for watching. See you next time.